Hello again, and welcome to another episode of 3 Pints of Purple. In this episode, I'm going to be listening to Fireball and then Machine Head, all the while enjoying some beverages. But just a little bit of an update, because in the past, I've always had to do these videos, well, when my wife was out of town, simply because if she's out in the living room where our main stereo system is, she could be developing photos or illustrations or working on her book, something productive, and quiet. And then, I come up with like a bunch of beer and like a stack of Deep Purple records under my arm. That ain't too cool. So what I ended up doing was a short while back, maybe 2 months now, I got a new turntable with the intent of selling my old one. But then I had a brainstorm, and what I did, here, I'll show you a little update. I have ended up keeping the turntable, and then I hooked these speakers that I had on my desk already in place, and then I just use, like a preamp. And sure enough, so now I can listen to, Purple in here without disturbing anyone. Now, when she's out of town, of course, I'll go to my favorite stereo system, but in the meantime, I can be a more polite husband, I suppose. But getting back to this review, so we're working our way through the Deep Purple collection, 2 albums at a time. So far, we've done Shades of Deep Purple, The Book of Taliesin, Deep Purple, and In Rock. So, of course, brings us up to Fireball and then Machine Head. And I have a couple of different versions here. This is the old version of Fireball Head, old pressing. I had this, since high school. And I also have one I got a couple of years back that had a remaster, and it's on purple vinyl. It sounds pretty good. This is the one I'll be listening to today. But of course, back in high school too, I have the poster somewhere still of John Lord, but picture disc. It was like $20. I don't know how much picture discs go for now. Probably not much more than that. But yeah, so that's my Fireball collection. And in Machine Head, I have, of course, the pressing I had, since I was in high school again. And I probably got this, I could have been in junior high, to be quite frank. So sort of an 80s pressing. Then I did get the purple vinyl. This is a remaster from, I don't know how many years ago now, 5-6 years ago. It seemed like before COVID, perhaps. I can't recall. The years run together after lockdown. And then also and that's the one I'll be listening to today. And then, of course, the Super Deluxe version that came out last year. And I got to be honest, I liked it at the time, and it does sound really good in most cases. But I think the things he did in his remix, it's almost like he did his, I don't know what it was, 7.8 channel remix, Dolby Atmos, and then just scaled it down to stereo. So, to me at least, in any case, some of the reverb and the timings of things don't quite make sense in stereo. And I don't have an Atmos player. All I know is that while this sounds great throughout, there are some instances where, to me, it just sounds a little bit weird. Maybe I'll do a little chat on that at some point. But back to today. So I'll get these set aside. Put this on my chair. I'm going to put this on the turntable right now. And so today's selection of beverages are Diablo Mexican Lager with a hint of lime and jalapeno. This is from Good Robot, just up the street from here. It's tasty. It goes very well with nachos, which we're having for supper. Seems a shame to not save it, but, for science, I have to have it now. Lake City cider from across the bridge in Dartmouth. Watermelon flavor. I'm looking forward to checking this out. This is apple cider and fresh press. 6%. And then I'll wrap up with my current favorite cider, Dark Side Dry, again from Lake City Cider in downtown Dartmouth, 7.5%. So I'm not really expecting to have any major insights after today's listen because I listened to these albums quite a bit. It's not going to be the case of going back and listening to, like when I re-listened to Shades of Deep Purple and the Book of Taliesin. And in fact, my opinion changed. I now prefer the Book of Taliesin over Shades of Deep Purple. There's that. But these are so baked in. But we'll see. We'll see. So I'll be back in a bit. Talk to you soon. Okay, so I am back after listening to Fireball and enjoying my Diablo Mexican lager. Quite tasty stuff, indeed. I don't know if I apologize if there's any issues with the sound. I had to have a fan on in here because it's hot as balls. This room isn't air conditioned. Also, while I was away, one of my lights died, so I'm having to swing one of these around. Hopefully it doesn't mess things up too much. Anyway, there we go. Now, my impression of the album hasn't changed at all. I like it very much. I may do a separate video at some point on what minor tweaks I think could have been made to make it a stronger album. I did a video on my other channel, but that's just a shitty video. So I may redo it for this channel. But I think a lot of it comes down to, for me in any case, I don't think Anyone's Daughter should have been on the album. It should have been replaced with, well, depending on the pressing, it should have included both Demon's Eye and Strange Kind of Woman, I think, and get rid of Anyone's Daughter. And then I think some of the track listing should have changed. Like, great start off with Fireball, but then I think maybe, I don't like Fools. Front end loaded a little bit after Fireball, put some of that like really gritty, almost proggy type stuff in there. That would have been pretty good. Anyway, I'll do a check on that. The only thing that did jump out to me on this, which did change things for me, was around No, No, No. And I've never been a huge fan of that song. Simply, I mean, the playing's great. It's just the riff. I do not like that riff. But these speakers that I'm playing on, and they're basically, I think, just computer speakers, so they emphasize the bass more so than I usually do on my regular system. There's some killer bass playing on that track, like really good stuff that it's never jumped out at me like that before. So that definitely elevated the song for me quite a bit. So Fireball is, as one would expect, an excellent album. And yeah, I will do a video on maybe what tweaks, maybe even a person could make their own playlist to make it sort of stand up shoulder to shoulder with In Rock and Made in Japan, or Machine Head. Speaking of Machine Head, that's going to be the next album I listen to. And during that time, I'm going to have some Lake City Cider Watermelon. We'll see how this goes. Talk to you soon. Okay, so I am back. I have had my Lake City Cider Watermelon while listening to Machine Head. Gotta say, I mean, good quality stuff, but it's kind of sweet for me. It kind of like bordered on candy-like. And I mean, it's not like artificially sweetened, I don't think. Blueberry wine. Note this album. Having listened to Fireball before this, immediately, I'm struck by how Maybe I'm a Leo, which to me, I know that was a popular song. Fans love it. I mean, it is a great song, but to me, it is the weak track on the album. And it's in a similar vein as No, No, No. A little different, but it's the same kind. There's some, I don't know, it's just, they remind me of each other in ways. So I think this is such a perfect rock album. But I think if I had to do one thing to improve it, would be to put When a Blind Man Cries in the mix, get rid of Maybe I'm a Leo, and switch some of the track order around. But that's just me. Highway Star, I mean, oh my God, the bass playing is Roger Glover is like even though I do consider Purple as kind of Ian Pace's band, in my opinion. Roger Glover is the glue, man. He ties it all together. Such amazing, underrated bass playing. It's always perfect. Highway Star, Pictures of Home, Never Before. I love Never Before. That gets shortchanged in my opinion from the fans, but love it. And Smoke on the Water, Lazy and Space Truckin', that stands up, I think, as one of the great sides of an LP. Yeah, amazing stuff. So, well, I gotta dig out Fireball because I put it away on the shelf. Yeah. Well, obviously, I do prefer Machine Head, but I've listened to it so much that I like the grit that's in Fireball. I find it a little bit more engaging. I find, to be perfectly honest, Machine Head is a dark album. Fireball is equally as dark, and there's space in it to it. I think it could be down to the production, the type of songs they're writing, and I'm not sure when John Lord made the switch to the Marshalls, if it was between Fireball and Machine Head, maybe it happened before then. And Richie's sound had gotten more brutal by this time as well. I find Fireball just has a little more space, and it's fun to dig into. This is sort of melt your face off stuff, and it's great. So I can't really say which one I prefer most. I mean, logically, I'd have to go with Machine Head, but Fools. I love Fools. That's one of my favorite Deep Purple songs, bar none. Yeah. So, part of the 3 pints of purple is I have another pint, and I think further about these two. So, what you're in for a bonus today. It's a bit of a treat. I say that, but as part of my other channel, and it's been about 9 or 10 months. It's not quite as it's burgeoning. I think I have 40 subs on that. I usually do unboxing videos, and it's been a long time. So as part of this, you're going to get to see me unbox an iron. Well, I mean, yeah, I'll include it here. You could skip through to the end if you want. I'll enable chapters to get to my final discussion because I know you're wanting to hear it. But in the meantime, you're going to get to see me open an iron. So as I switch my tone here, hey, how's it hanging? Welcome back to another unboxing. It's been a while. Today we have, my address is right on here, electric iron with retractable cord. Now you see, my wife had mentioned, and of course I use it, but not as often. I'll usually just throw my clothes in the dryer when they're wrinkled, to be perfectly honest. I don't go anywhere fancy. But in any case, it is our old iron, took forever to heat up and leaked everywhere. It was basically a complete piece of shit. So she gave it to a friend, and I ordered this. And so let's check what this is all about. You know, like I'm a dude, you know, when there's a request for something, you got to spend hours doing the research, right? And so I always start off with, in this case, the best clothing iron, steam iron, 2025. And that was a little bit out of my price range, but I did find something that got really good reviews. I think it's, let's open this up. Oh my God. Uh-oh. I want to get pieces of styrofoam everywhere. That's a complete goat fuck trying to clean up. Well, silica gel comes with a use and care manual. You plug it in and turn it on and probably turn it off when you're done, I'm guessing, and add water as needed. I don't think I need to, well, I say that now, but there's all kinds of buttons. Fuck that. Okay. Let us remove the bag. Oh, man. So exciting. I wonder what it looks like. This is some grade A unboxing. All right. So yeah, we have, there's like a steam and stream setting. Oh, Jesus, there's water in it. And, okay. And here's a retractable cord. And what do you do? What? Oh, Jesus. Okay, nice. So there you go. This is the, what's it called? It's got like 400 holes. So it must be like monitors, like the more pixels, the better. So it's not a 1,000-hole iron, but it ought to be pretty good. Chai, titanium infused ceramic sole plate, superior steam performance. Yep, so there you go. This is a quick unboxing. 1,700 watts. I'm not going to give it a test because I'll probably burn the place down. Talk to you next time. You know what? I think I've said all I have to say about these two albums at this point. They're both really great. Now, upcoming, I do have the, in one of my, I do have to get back to doing some more Deep Purple News roundups. And one of them I was going off about the Super Deluxe Made in Japan remix that's coming out, the 10 LP set. And I was saying, oh, Christ, I have the 2014 set, all 3 shows remixed. And I thought, well, I'll just get the Steven Wilson 2 LP set out of this. But I broke down. I'm getting the Made in Japan Super Deluxe LP, 10 LP box set. Whenever that comes out, it's supposed to be released next Friday. At that time, I'll do an unboxing of that, and then I'll do a series of side-by-side comparisons of the 3 shows. And as well, I'll probably do a 3 Pints of Purple of the original mix of Made in Japan versus the Steven Wilson remix of Made in Japan. So there's a good, I don't know, too much information. And it's a good deal of too much of me. So this has been a blast. Talk to you next time.